Hey everybody, so this week we're going to be working on getting the Ford power steering mounted onto the Mercedes. So I'm going to pull this bracket off of here, pull the hoses off and stuff so I don't break anything. Then I can use the bracket to make a mounting plate and just make a 3-piece bracket and just weld it all together. Let's do this. Would be extremely nice if I had a bench in here to work off of, but then I'd just be spoiled. I don't even have a vise. This is just how it is for now. Got to be careful not to bust these off. These little plastic return nipples. It's terrible. They stink and snap right off when it gets cold. So this is the, if you hear the Ford supercharger whine, most likely it's this pump. Almost every time. You can buy a brand new rebuilt one for under $100. So I figured I'd just use a really common one. Could really use some more lighting. Okay. So I gotta try to pop all this stuff off here. It's gonna make a mess. I have to pull that. So, as I thought that was all of the fluid. Money. Now I can pull these off and I can make a metal bracket and we can mount the sucker on there. I intentionally did that because I want there to be more clearance between here, so I moved it up a little bit when I marked it, so I knew roughly I wanted it to be a little bit looser and a little bit higher. That's why I went there. And that's how that's gonna go. Traced it out, did the first rendition. It was out of 1/8 inch, so it was too thin, and it wanted to bend when it was on there. So I cut the second rendition out of 1/4 inch plate. 1/4 inch plate works. So I got it all lined up. Used a straight edge, went from here through there, here through there. I had to pull the pulley back out just a hair to get it to line up, but I don't have to use any washers for spacers or nothing. Now I'm going to go through and clean this plate up. I'm going to round the edges off, and I'm going to weld a piece between here and here. Just tack it on here, and then I'll pull this off, and then I'll fully weld that on to here, that piece in between here, and then I'll make a gusset that goes out to here like this, just to pretty it up a bit and to give it a little bit more strength. But it really doesn't need any strength because it doesn't even move. You push on the belt pretty hard, it doesn't even flex, so that's definitely strong enough. But like I said, I'll do that anyways, and then I'll come back and show you. Alright, so I took this piece of cardboard, notched the corner out so it'll fit right there on that weld. Don't have to, but I don't want to grind it because I don't want this thing to move at all, because it's right where I want it. So I'm just going to tack all the support pieces in so this doesn't flex and move around. So I marked where I want this here, just nipped it, same there. Now I'll just go straight line like that, and I'll cut that off. I'm probably going to leave it a little bit shy. This just makes it a little easier so you don't have to keep going back and forth, back and forth. So it looks pretty good. That'll give me a little room in there. I'll probably cut it a little short. Even shorter. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. Take this. Too bad that's not big enough. And I do have a porta-band. It's just really hard to use it without a vise, so I don't really use it very much. That's why I'm using the grinder more often than the porta-band. The porta-band, way superior. That's how I cut this piece out right here. I just clamp this down onto here, use the porta-band, cut it out. It's way cleaner than using the torch, and it's not as dirty as using the grinder. And it's probably faster than using the grinder. Cut that off. That'll work. Tack it on there. It will kind of does penetrate a little bit. You really got to pour the heat to it to get it to penetrate really well. Left about an 1/8 inch gap in there. So I'll take and make another one like this to come down this side, right here, like that. I could probably use my same pattern. Because it's the same height. I'll have to trim this different because that weld is, yeah. I can use it like that. Or leave it like that. Just cut the end off a little bit and it'll be good. Alright, so I'm recording this after the fact because I just loaded the files on the computer and found out the main file for building this is corrupted. So I did end up cutting this piece here, and I cut an identical piece to it, fully welded everything all together after I got it to fit. So I left that and this bolted on, took this long square piece, slid it between those, and I tack welded all four corners of it. And then once that was all tack welded, I took it off, and then I tack welded the triangle in the top and the bottom, and I burned it in just heavy and it warped real bad. So then I went back in and I cut the whole bracket, and it just sprung right open. So then I took a screwdriver, put a screwdriver in it, welded it up so it wouldn't pull it together. So I welded across here, and then once I knew it wasn't going to move again, took it back apart and welded the rest of that together. So that's all together. This is the first time this truck will have power steering. So we got the line all hooked up, and it fits perfectly. Tucks right away, comes up to the outside. The bracket's all done, all the belts on there. It's so awesome that I didn't have to come up with another idler on here. I was just able to push this out and up enough that it took up the slack in the stock belt. So this is the stock belt, so when I go to order one, I'll know exactly what to order. Nothing better than that. And now I'm gonna do the radiator, and then I have to do the oil cooler lines. So hopefully I can, well, it looks like there's a ton of room through here. I can get the oil cooler lines through there and up to the oil filter canister. They gotta go right there on the canister. You can see the oil cooler lines right there. They'll have to come out and weasel through this side and come out through here. And I think I can put that oil cooler, the stock factory one, I think I can fit that oil cooler right here. I'll have to take and cut this brace out, but I think I could fit it in here because I have, I believe it's like 1.5 inches or 2 inches before the headlights. So that's where I'm going to try to shove that oil cooler, is right there. I want to stay with the oil cooler because I want to make sure I got enough cooling for this thing. I did grab a big boy radiator out of an Explorer. So that big boy radiator is way thicker than the stock 4-cylinder. So we should be doing pretty good on cooling, hopefully. So I'll throw an electric fan on that radiator and we should be money. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Either way, have a great day.